Voice you're going to hear is Sheehan Cortez William. He is a cab driver. He's the one that had the phony uh, email address of my stepmom's in her name on his personal computers, and he had access to my family's accounts where he was making transfers in the bank in our account. And he was the one that was withdrawing all the money from the ATM machines for a very long time, for months. And I also gave Northwood Police this evidence too, also, along with sending it to Alan Moore downtown at the gas company where I worked at. But yeah, this is when Morris. I'm trying to make a long story short here, but this is when Morris came over to the house one day. And this was after that forged uh, restraining order that Morris A. Taylor filled out, along with Christine Kerr. Her name was on that forged document because he was friends with her. But he went over to the house, 7127 Forest Hill Drive. And when Shem was there with my stepmom, and he went into the house and walked around and taking pictures from what Shem was telling me, walking around the house because he's been in there plenty of times before. I don't know why. Well, I kind of know why he was taking the pictures for to do what he was doing. But yeah, and Shin says something about him walking into the room. Now, Mama Dorothy, she drank a lot of water. She always had a big glass of water and candy also in the bedroom. So Morris did go into the bedroom, from what I understand. But after Morris left, that's when she got sick, and Shin ended up taking her to the hospital. And when Morris met them down at the hospital, one of the main concerns was for Morris is if she was brain dead or not. And he used that forged document a power of attorney, for which you saw in the video that she said that she never gave him power of attorney, nor did she say that he can have her house or anything like that. But he used that forged document to take her off of any type of life support at the hospital. But here we go. You're gonna have time to watch her get fed and eat. Oh, okay. So normally I feed her in the 4 or 5 o'clock hour, so I just wait a little later, to allow him to see how she eats and what she does, so he can see for himself. So by me feeding her later, I'm thinking that she may have had some gas come the next morning because she kind of like was spitting up. And I called the doctor, told him what she was doing. I told him what time I fed her. He said, okay, we'll try to give her a Sprite, 7 Up. If it don't stop, get her to the hospital. Well, it didn't stop. So I called him again. He's like, well, go ahead and get her to the hospital. But basically, it just seemed like once she saw him or heard his voice, she just went downhill. You think he put something in her food? I don't recall letting her out of my sight for him to do that. I mean, I know he was in the room a couple times. I recall letting her out of my sight for him to do anything. I just don't recall because I've been asking myself that same thing. I know I had her bottled water sitting on the nightstand table, because I was setting everything up so he could see how I do things. And I stepped out just a few times I was getting stuff, but he was kind of like walking back and forth, taking pictures and calling whoever he was calling, whatever. But that's all I can really remember. And then, she kept trying to talk while she was, wanting to eat. And I'm like, you can't talk while you're eating, but she was just doing her normal stuff. And then he left. And I gave her a bath, laid her down, and I went in the living room and lay on the floor, like I always do. How did he get that power of attorney? Again, apparently she set it up. I don't know. Like I say, I really wish she did some stuff, but she did all. He said he ain't about nothing. He ain't gonna do nothing. That's how she talk. I mean, you know how she talk. It's just. Yeah, but I'm saying, how did he get the power of attorney? Well, first it was his daddy who was the power of attorney first. Then when Morris Sr. passed on, exactly. Okay. It finally went to him. So that's all I really know. But I know his dad had it at first. Okay, but see, it can't just automatically go to him. Because Mama Dorothy said she didn't give it to Morris. Like I said, I don't know, man. I really don't know. All I know, him and that attorney had something going on, and that's all I can really recall. But like I say, yeah. See, what I'm trying to say is this: she told me that she didn't give him power of attorney. Okay, that form that he has says that she says that He was her power of attorney. She said she never said that. That being a bogus power of attorney form too. Also, he goes up to the hospital with that bogus attorney power of attorney form and have her tools pulled, right? What he did was she had a medical dual power of attorney. She had this power of attorney, and like I said, the first thing he walked in that ER room, and the doctor told him, well, he's like, well, she ain't even probably taken care of. He goes, no, she's been personally taken care of. Because they can tell elderly abuse. I'm like, she's been fed, she's been clean, she's clean, her nails are clean. Then she started telling her what was going on. She said, well, certain things was